Hi, I'm Shanae Pitts. I'm CEO and founder of Straight Up English, and we are a language learning software as a service company with a focus on the most persistent speech challenges of non-native speakers of English. So let me give you a few examples.
Call Stella. Ask her to bring
This is
these
a French
things
man who
with
studied
her
English
from
for
the
7
store.
years.
Please call Stella.
This is a
Ask her
Japanese
to
man who
bring
studied English for
these
3
things
years.
with her from the store.
Please call Stella.
And this is a
Ask
Pashto woman
her
who studied
to
English for 2
bring
years.
These things with her from the store.
So this is a very simple reading task, but you can imagine speakers like these trying to prepare for an interview, such as for an academic position, or for a job, or for a promotion. Non-native speakers of English are painfully aware of how they sound to others, and it's quite embarrassing. There are many highly educated individuals who are able to read and write in English beautifully, but are unable to speak it. How big is this problem? In the U.S., there are 12 million English as a second language, or ESL adults, and over 5 million K-12 students. In fact, the U.S. Department of Education predicts that 1 in 4 students by 2025 will be ESL speakers. And there are thousands of ESL language programs, departments, and labs trying to serve them. And many people do not have adequate access or have problems with time and transportation and costs. The problem is even larger in the international community. There will be 2 billion ESL speakers worldwide, and many of them are coming from Asia, particularly from India and China in the next few years. There's a huge demand for ESL teachers and products, particularly because in these international markets, the teachers themselves are ESL learners and may be able to teach grammar and sentence structure, but have trouble themselves speaking. So if you don't have access to a native speaker as a teacher or can't get adequate practice, what do people typically turn to? So there are expensive software packages that try to teach the whole language, from sentence structure, grammar, and vocabulary, but there's very little instruction on the oral communication skills, which are so important to people, and especially any practice with valid feedback. And they have a cloning approach where they apply the same curriculum across all the different languages. So for example, this is a screenshot from Rosetta Stone Spanish. And this is one from Tagalog, which is spoken in the Philippines. It's exactly the same. You're going to miss the subtleties in the spoken language, particularly in English. So instead of trying to cover an entire language, all of English with broad coverage, we have very deep focus in the oral communication skills, specifically word stress, intonation, and pronunciation. And we have a unique way of doing it. Web-based pitch line visualization. So pitch you may be more familiar with in music. And in fact, it's been used successfully in software applications for vocal coach training to teach people how to sing. And to a limited extent, it's been used in language learning programs. So it's hard for a consumer to understand it and what they should get out of it, especially when it's presented at an entire phrase level. Our approach is unique in that we're presenting a more schematized or idealized pitch line. So for a non-native speaker who can't hear the difference between contract and contract, and address and address, they can easily see the difference in the pitch line. So this is an important contrast in noun-verb pairs. And we give learners the ability to record and play back their production and compare both their vocal production and their pitch line to the model. And we train them to self-evaluate their production so they're able to make it an automatic habit and recondition their ability to both understand and be understood. How big is this problem? So there are many commonly used noun-verb pairs like contract and contract and present and present. There are also even more compound nouns such as drop out and phrasal verbs that sound similar like drop out. And their entire word families where you put this stress depends on whether it's used as a noun, verb, adjective, or adverb, or depending on the word ending like democratic, democracy. So this is a widely applicable technique. So I've been showing examples at a single word level, which can be used by both beginning learners and advanced learners, but it can also be used at the phrasal level for intonation. So language learners find it hard to determine whether someone is being sincere or ironic, or other variations of intonation, such as, what time does the party start? The first time you ask, and the check, and the second time you'd ask, such as, what time does the party start? So our pitch line technology can be used also in this way. Our technique is to, while we're building this technology, which is unique in that it's a web-based service, we're building a ESL community at the same time to build our brand awareness and our credibility and increase our SEO marketing ranking. So while we're building this community, it will become a marketplace for our web-based products, which we'll sell at a subscription level, which will also be available to web-enabled devices, and we also plan to make device-specific applications, such as for the iPhone. So how we're building this community is through two different ways. One, for the learners, we have languagestylesurvey.org, which is a standalone website that is like a personality test for learning how best do you learn a language. This is a survey that we've adapted from a research group in language acquisition. So we are collecting this data. We are providing this as a free service with an email address, and it's been translated already into 4 different languages, and it will be launched later this month. And we will give the learners their results, specific product advice, and reviews which they can share in their social networks. In order to provide the results and reviews, and also to survey the landscape of existing products, we've created a framework for evaluating the social networks, the marketplace, and softwares already available. None of these products have Pitchline as a web-based product. In fact, most don't have Pitchline at all. And none of them include a language style survey. So all of these websites can drive traffic to our language style survey and also license our Pitchline technology. We've also included a look into the teacher communities, because teachers are an important conduit to the students, where they can recommend our products and use our products as additional outside classroom help. So for the teachers, especially in the international countries where they themselves are learning to speak English and learning how to teach it, we've already launched an ESL Instructional Blog of instructional videos that we've produced to help them with best practices to use in the classroom. And that is evolving into an ESL teacher community where they can create forums and discussions and share advice and resources for teaching English. So we have future directions for all 3 verticals, for our learners, for our teachers, and for our products. But specifically, in the next 6 to 12 months, we're looking to recruit 15,000 learners through our language survey site and collect that into a database that we can sell to. We're looking to recruit 3,000 teachers into our community and release 5 web-based Pitchline applications. We're currently searching for strategic advisors in the education, language learning, and publishing fields. We're looking for publishing partners where we can repurpose existing content into our Pitchline technology. So the reason why we're confident we can do this is because of the personal and professional experience of our team. So I have a PhD in neuroscience, which includes a background in learning and memory. And while I was at Columbia, I also was their tutoring and translating agency equity manager, where we provided services to the general New York community. So I'm very familiar with the international community, both as clients and as freelance tutors and translators. I've also formed a software company called Mobile for web and mobile applications. And we find the user experience so important, we also created a sub-brand called iSoPretty that is just for UI design. And I've successfully partnered with a number of known publishers to bring their content to devices like the iPhone. Our CTO is Kostas Nasis, who is the technologist behind Slidell and Jupes that received a lot of media attention. He has a number of other products under NUSIS, including vocabulary learning products in 3 different languages. And our CMO is Anton Kalandia, who's a graduate of Drexel. He was a network administrator and customer relations agent at SunGard, and also a project manager at Comfort. And I should say all 3 of us are English as a second language learners ourselves, and we have extensive experience living and working in a number of countries. So I invite you to come to our homepage and take our language learning style survey, sign up for our for news from our company, or even better, contact Anton or myself after the break, I guess. And I'd like to thank DreamIt Ventures for this tremendous opportunity. We've come a long way in 3 months in our idea, and I'd also like to thank our team that helped us during this program.